First, false allegations that he made with regard to an incident where he claimed that you bit him and assaulted him, emptying out a bank account that was yours, not giving you property back that belonged to you, and wedding expenses that you paid for. Mr. Miller says he doesn't know you a dime. He also paid for wedding expenses. He says that the allegations of assault were absolutely true. He doesn't have any property that belongs to you anymore, and he really wants you to move on with your life because he says that his life has been made unbearable by you and your family, who have embarked on a constant course of harassment, including filing of multiple lawsuits.
Yes,
so
Your Honor.
far, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, when did this blissful relationship commence?
We got engaged on September 16th of 2005.
Were you living together at the time?
We didn't move in together until the next month.
You moved in together in whose home?
We rented an apartment together, and we both signed the lease.
And when was this argument that terminated the relationship?
The argument happened on May 10th, which was 10 days before the wedding was supposed to happen.
Is that when the assault allegedly took place, sir?
Approximately, Your Honor.
Not approximately.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. You want to tell me what happened, Miss Taggart?
Yes, ma'am. I had gone to Morgan, where all of the wedding arrangements were to take place, to finalize the cake and the
Flowers.
flowers. I called him at work and told him I was going to be going, and he didn't want me to go.
Why didn't you want her to go?
Well, because, Your Honor, I wanted to participate in the, the formalizing of this wedding.
And he told you that.
No, he did not tell me that.
What did he tell you?
He just told me that he didn't want me to go, and previously he'd told me that he didn't want anything to do with planning it, that it was my wedding and I was in charge of planning it.
Okay. Go ahead.
So I went to him, called me several times, and was very upset. And
Well, what did he say to you when he called?
He would just yell at me. He was mad at me because I talked to my mother about how he was upset with me. He didn't want me to even talk to my mother about it.
Miss Taggart, I'm not getting a full picture. After you spoke to him on the phone and he was upset with you, did you call your mother?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Why did you call your mother?
I called my mother because when I talked to him on the phone, I was very upset, and I just wanted to call and mostly have somebody just help me calm down so that I wasn't so upset. I was going to finalize wedding plans, and I didn't want to have tears running down my face when I was doing it.
Go ahead.
I finalized the wedding plans, and I called him when I was on my way home, as he'd asked, and he said, well, we'll just talk when you get home. And so I got home, and my son was asleep, and so I took him to bed in our bedroom.
How old is your son?
He's 7 now. He was 6 at the time.
If he was sleeping, where was he sleeping?
He was asleep in the car on the way home.
So you went to finalize the wedding plans with your son?
Yes.
And when you got home, you put your son to bed in your bedroom?
Yes.
Is that where he usually sleeps?
Yes, he had a bed in the front room, but he'd often come and slept in our bed.
That's not an answer, Miss Tackett. 7 years old, they're supposed to sleep in their own room if they have a room. When he slept in your room, where did he sleep?
He would just sleep in the bed. I laid him in there because I knew that Travis and I were going to be having a conversation, and I didn't want it to wake him. So I put him to sleep in our bed. And Travis was standing by the bathroom door when I got home. He gave me a hug, and I went and I sat on the couch in our front room. And a few minutes later, he came and he sat down in the chair across from me. And he started asking me questions, and something about like $1,600 missing from the bank account. And I told him it was just all finalizing wedding plans.
Did you have a joint checking account?
We did. He was put on the checking account 2 months prior to this.
And you were working at the time?
Yes.
Who were you working for?
I was working for the Huntsman Cancer Hospital.
And you?
Yes, I'm employed for the state of Utah for JJS, Juvenile Justice Services.
Okay. So you were each depositing your checks in the bank?
Yes,
in this joint bank account? Okay, go ahead.
And so it started to get heated. He started yelling at me about all sorts of things. I remember I was holding a pillow sitting on the couch, and he stood over me, shaking his finger at me, telling me that I was weak and I was worthless, and he couldn't even believe he was attracted to me. And then he asked me to leave, and I was okay with that. At the time, I was fed up with the fight. I was ready to be done with the fight. And so I said, okay, I'll leave. And I went to go back to the bedroom to get my son. And Travis had been drinking prior in the evening. And Travis said, you're not taking him with you. And I said, he's my son, and he's going with me. And I tried to get past Travis to go get my son, and he pushed me. And he did this repetitively. He pushed me into the wall, into the kitchen table, into the couch, down on the bed, down on the floor. And I did the pushing and shoving match for a minute, and then I said, you know what, I'm just going to call the cops. I grabbed my cell phone, and I started to dial 911, and he grabbed my phone, and he threw it across the house. After that, I went out and I was kind of freaked out. I stood there for a second, and I decided that I had to get my son. And so I started to get violent with him. I did bite him on the upper left chest. I believe I bit him on the right forearm. I punched him, I kicked him. I was doing everything I could to get my son out of that house.
Why didn't you just go outside and call the police?
A moment of confusion.
Okay.
And so I started to get violent with him. And he said, "You're not taking him, he's my son." And I said, "You're not to him." And Travis then began to cry. He sat on the floor, and I tried to get past him again to get my son. He then grabbed my legs and threw me to the ground. When I got up again, I started punching him in the top of the head, and I finally got past him. Well, he ran into the bedroom following me, and the fight had escalated, and you know, we were now in the bedroom. I didn't want my son to wake up, and so I laid on top of his ears. I covered his ears so that he wouldn't wake up.
All right, Mr. Miller, you want to tell me, please, your version of what happened on the night of May 10th?
Yes, Your Honor. While Ms. Taggart is emotional, the events that transpired, yes, I'll tell you. I'd gotten off work around 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I wasn't drunk. I called to pay my cell phone bill, our cell phone bill, over the phone. And I knew from the day before, because she told me she would like to go do some wedding things, and I asked her, you know, can I go with you? I don't go alone. I said I got up at 4. Prior to this, I called the cell phone company, and they said no money in your account. So I got home, and I was a little upset, sober, not drunk. And we did have an argument. Her son was sleeping in our room, and if we did have such a horrendous fight, you know, he would have woken up in the first place. She did assault me. I didn't touch her. She could have called the police at any time. I did ask her to leave at that time because she was emotional, and that's about how it transpired, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. Taggart. So let me explain something to you. Let's deal with the false allegations of abuse. There were no false allegations of abuse. You lost your cool, and you assaulted him. That's it. You bit him. You bit him here, you bit him here, you bit him here. I'm not sure whether I believe that he struck you and abused you, because if he did, the police would have arrested him. Did they respond to your home?
They did not. I actually tried to file a police report several times within the following weeks. I went to the desk, and the officer at the desk didn't care. They just shrugged me off.
Okay. There were many ways you could have handled the incident that occurred in your house on the 10th of May. You chose the most inappropriate one. Most appropriate one is if you're having a fight with him, and if you were emotional, which clearly you were, it's not the right time to take your son out of a sleeping bed. There's no question in my mind that Mr. Miller was not going to hurt your son. So you go outside, you cool off, you call your mother, you call the police if you have to. You say, I want to go get my son. But what you don't do is you don't bite him and kick him and scratch him and punch him, and then go inside and put your hands over your son's sleeping ears so that he won't be awake. That's stupid. You agree with that, don't you?
No, ma'am, I don't.
Well, then that's your problem. Because that's the right thing to do if you're a reasonable mother. Your daughter is emotional. She's your daughter, isn't it?
Yes.
Your daughter is emotional, and the truth of the matter is, on that day, May 10th, based upon what she told me, she did the wrong thing. She went to finalize wedding plans. He asked her not to go, to wait for him until he got out of work. She went anyway. There's no question he got upset with her. Instead of resolving the issue, she calls her mommy. Certainly, that's not the way two grown-ups are supposed to deal with their wedding plans. Your daughter got emotional. I don't believe Mr. Miller was drunk. I don't believe that for a minute. So, let's deal with the bank account. You say, Ms. Taggart, that Mr. Miller emptied the bank account.
Yes, ma'am, he did.
On what date did he empty the bank account?
It was the day immediately following the fight. It would have been May 11th.
How much money was in the bank account?
There was probably about 350-ish.
What do you mean 350-ish? Show me the account.
I don't know if I have the exact statement for that month.
Well, then I'm not interested in that part of the lawsuit, madam. That's what you're supposed to have here. Miss Taggart, if you come to court and you're suing because you say that he emptied out a joint bank account, what you have to bring is you have to bring proof of that. And that would be the bank statement for when he closed that bank account, how much money was in it, and it would also show me how much money was in it the day before the fight.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have that?
I only have the bank statements up until April, so I do not have that one.
Not interested. Okay, so empty out the bank account you don't have any proof of. Wedding expenses. Who was planning the wedding?
I was, as he had told me to.
Who was paying for the wedding?
I was, out of my income tax return.
So?
So that is where I come with the opinion that he owes me at least half of that.
He doesn't. There has to be an agreement. In the event that Mr. Miller said to you, which of course he didn't, I am going to pay for half of the wedding, then that's a contract. But Mr. Miller didn't say that to you. What you want is you want half the wedding expenses because there was no wedding, right?
This is right.
But that's not the way the law works. There's nothing in the law that gives you the right and gives me the right to say to Mr. Miller, well, it didn't work out, and you should pay for half the expenses. That's a different kind of court. It's a court that doesn't exist in this country. Now, what property do you allege that you left at his house?
There is a mirror that was given to me as a Christmas gift from him. He would not allow me to take it because he said it matched the bed that his father had given us as an early wedding present. There's an anatomy book that I like to refer to for work. It's a very expensive Gray's Anatomy book. Just a few little things. I had gone to his house.
Not interested in a few little things, madam. I'm waiting. So far, I have a mirror and a book.
Also, since the bed was given to us as a mutual gift from his father, I believe that I deserve half of the cost of the bed.
Got to get over it, Miss Taggart. Got to move on, Miss Taggart. Didn't work out. Didn't work out.
Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to the new vlog. तो कैसे आप सब ठीक ठाक है यार। आ चुके हैं हम एक और न्यू ब्लॉग के साथ।
पूछा मैंने कुछ
तो आई होप कि आप सब ने मुझे मिस किया होगा।
चुप कर बे कुत्ते।
ठीक है, लेकिन मैं वापस आ चुका हूँ भाई। पहले तो हमारा टाइम नहीं लगता था जॉब से, लेकिन अब हमने जॉब जो है वो छोड़ दिया भाई। ठीक हो गया। अब हम डेली ब्लॉगिंग करेंगे, रेगुलर लगातार डेली ब्लॉगिंग अब लाजमी किया करेंगे इंशाल्लाह। तो आज हमारे सारे बहुत सारे काम हैं, बाकी आधे तो कंप्लीट कर लिए, लेकिन हम शहर गए होते सुबह से, वहां पे तो मैंने ब्लॉग वगैरह नहीं बनाया था, लेकिन अभी आके घर में आके ब्लॉग शुरू किया है। तो बाकी अभी शीट्स वगैरह लगनी है, और मतलब गाइस हम एक्चुअली अपना एक ऑफिस बना रहे हैं। ठीक है, तो वहां पे हम ऑनलाइन काम वगैरह किया करेंगे, जितने भी उसके काम है वो सारे हम किया करें लैपटॉप पे। मतलब उसके लिए हमें, आपको पता है, फिर लैपटॉप रखने के लिए उसकी एक शेल्फ होती है, वो लगानी है। ठीक हो गया, तो वो आज लगवाएंगे शेल्फ वगैरह। अभी भाई आ रहे हैं। ठीक है, शेल्फ जिन्होंने लगानी है, चीजें वगैरह हम शीट्स वगैरह उसकी ले आए थे काफी दिन पहले, जाके उसको कटवा लिया था हमने हिस्सों में। तो वो अभी भाई आ रहे हैं, वहां पे निशान वगैरह हमने दीवार के साथ लगा दिए। तो वो अब जैसे आते हैं, ठीक है, तो शीट्स वगैरह लग जाएंगी, फिर मैं आप लोगों को दिखाता हूँ कि शीट्स फाइनल कैसी लग रही हैं। ओके हो गया।
A few moments later.
तो गाइस यार ये सारा चल रहा है, अब ये सारे लगेंगे दीवार में, और जो शीट्स हैं इसके ऊपर आ जाएंगी। 32 लग गया निशान। ठीक हो गया, डन हो गया। ठीक है, शीट्स में आप लोगों को दिखाता हूँ। शीट्स हमने इधर रखी हुई हैं इस वाले रूम में। ये शीट्स है सारी कट करके रख दी हुई हैं हमने। ठीक है, अब ये अपने साइज के हिसाब से जहाँ पे लगनी है वो लगेंगी। स्टैंड्स आ गए, स्टैंड लगने लगी हैं सारी चीजें, फिर दिखाते हैं आपको जो फाइनल होता है।
A few moments later.
हाँ जी, ये चला दिया मैंने। दांत हो गया होने लगा जी। चले अब बिजू दा
Two 2000 years later.
जी गाइस, तो लग चुकी हैं सारी प्लेट्स हैं, आपको मैं चेक करवा सकता हूँ। ऐसे सारी ये लग गई हैं। यहाँ पे लैपटॉप्स वगैरह आ जाएंगे, चेयर्स वगैरह आ जाएंगी, और नीचे एक अच्छा सा कारपेट जो है वो लगाएंगे। ठीक है, ये सारी फाइनल हो गई हैं। अब बाकी चेयर्स वगैरह रह गई हैं, और लैपटॉप तो रख ही लेंगे, वो तो हमारे पास ऑलरेडी है। तो नीचे एक अच्छा सा कारपेट रखेंगे जो कि इसकी लुक और भी ज्यादा जो है अच्छा बनाएगा। ठीक हो गया।
अच्छा हमको सिखा रिया है।
तो दैट्स इट, फाइनल सारा काम आधे से ज्यादा तो कंप्लीट हो गया। सुबह को जो है वो इंशाल्लाह यहाँ पे काम हम स्टार्ट कर देंगे भाई। मतलब 1-2 दिन और में भी लग जाए, कोशिश तो यही है कि सुबह तक हो जाए, लेकिन शायद मेरा ख्याल है कि 1-2 दिन में भी और लग जाए। लेकिन यार ये एक फासला इधर से आ गया, ये एक थोड़ी सी जगह बच गई है। शीट्स हमने थोड़ी सी गलत तरीके से कटवा ली है, लेकिन उसका भी हल है। ये जो है ये बिल्कुल, ये देखो इसमें एडजस्ट हो रही है, तो इसको यहाँ पे ग्लू वगैरह लगा के चिपका देंगे, फिट कर देंगे। ठीक हो गया। बाकी शीट्स वगैरह लग चुकी हैं, इंशाल्लाह फिर सुबह से इसका काम वगैरह बाकी स्टार्ट करेंगे। ओके हो गया। सो मिलते हैं आपको बाद में।